Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gamer Social Club Weekly News Podcast. We are recording on Thursday, the 25th of September, 2025. And today we are going to talk about, well, we're actually going to pick our sort of selection of games, our highlights from the Tokyo Game Show showcases we've seen thus far. So that's including the Xbox Showcase, PlayStation State of Play, Annapurna Showcase, all manner. So you've got that to look forward to. But yeah, as always, I am your host, Harry, aka English Crayfish, and I've got a quartet today for you. Lady V is taking a break this week, a well-deserved one at that, and so I have rounded up a motley crew here to talk all about the Tokyo Game Show stuff. So, of course, with me, as always, is the greatest showman I know. It's Adam, aka not Addy. How you doing, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you. Had a good day getting shot with the camera for our upcoming show. We had a photo shoot. There's a really cool place we've got near us called the Domino Club, and it's like a speakeasy. Cool. It's a bar behind a barber's. So you go into the barber's. It's a functional working barber's, and you open the door and you go into the club and so we did some shots as in going into the speakeasy. Then we did some shots on the stage. It was lots of fun. So yeah, I'm good. Good to see you guys.
Very cool. Very good. Yeah, good to see you as well, of course. And next up is our very own Steam Deck verified Mark, aka We Work in the Hive. How you doing, my friend? Oh, can't hear you.
Oh.
Maybe you need to...
No. He's a doodah, I think.
Okay. You try checking stuff on, yeah. And last but not least is, of course, Dara. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm hoping that Mark's all right. That they didn't take
now, Jen, sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we got you.
I was gonna say, I hope they didn't take your speaking privileges.
It might verify now.
You're unverified, yeah.
Yeah, unverified suddenly. No. We've got him here with us. We are working the Hive. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing really good, mate. Really good. Just, however, also feeling incredibly old. As just before coming on the podcast, I've learned that it's 18 years of Halo 3 today, which makes me feel like an absolute fucking dinosaur. So I dug out the chief helmet on the floor. There's a little special guest of the show. So I thought I'd bring along.
Hey.
And but the amount of dust on that just highlights how old this guy is. So feeling really old.
It really upset me you couldn't wear that, because I remember those coming in at game and I was like, I'm just like, why did he not just follow it out a bit more and let you wear it? Like, why? Why?
What a wasted opportunity. But hey, at least now Master Chief can drink. Hey, that's nice.
True. And his head's shinier than mine, so I'll take that.
Good stuff. Of course, that's all of us here for this episode of the Gamer Social Club Weekly News Podcast. And we are some of the members of the Gamer Social Club, our website that covers video games in all manner of different ways, from interviews, reviews, news, previews, editorials and guides, anything else we can think of as well. We'll figure it out. And you can find all that over at www.gamersocialclub.ca. This, of course, is our YouTube channel that you've stumbled across. Hello. And this is the Weekly News Podcast. We do also have a couple other shows. Currently, we have the Party Chat, which is on hiatus as of right now. But we do also have the Girl Pod, which normally has Lady V as well as Candy on there. So you can enjoy that. That comes out every Monday. So yeah, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. If you'd like to share any feedback with us or want to respond to anything we talked about today, please drop it in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. The three things you need to know about us over at the Gamer Social Club is that we are, number one, a homegrown, fully independent outlet. This is all based on our passion for games. I wanted to share that with all of you. Number two is that we will finish every game that we review. We get to all the way through to the end to see credits. If we can't do that because it doesn't have credits, then we will do everything we can to play as much of it before we give you our verdict and our thoughts on the game. And third and finally, we run everything through a rumor-free filter when it comes to the news. So you can expect all of your news from us to be fully factual and we keep it up to date as best as we can. And we will not be going scouring for spurious claims through social media. You can guarantee that everything you get from us is the real deal. I think that's pretty much most of the stuff we have to cover. Of course, we have the Discord you can come join. We are a very small Discord, but we like to try and have our community nights every now and then. We've been having a couple of Among Us nights. I've been trying to get a Sea of Thieves kind of occasional community night going, as well as maybe some other games coming up soon. So yeah, please consider joining that. And everything that we talk about today, any articles of ours that we reference and like that, you will find below in the description, alongside all of our socials. So yeah, please consider following us all on there, individually or the site. And with that, I think that is the rigmarole out of the way. So with that, we'll go on to our first segment, which we normally have, which is what we've been playing. And I'm going to go with Mystery Man because he would tell us. So Adam, what have you been playing?
What have I been? Me? What have I been playing? What have I been playing? God, what have I been playing? Two games really. I've been playing one when I had not had a full hour to do game, and another one when I've had more than an hour to do gaming. So I've been playing Dying Light the Beast, which I'm reviewing for the site, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I always like the Dying Light games because they just feel like a true survivally type stuff going on in the zombie world, and it's genuinely terrifying at night sort of thing, because the day-night cycle, I don't know if everybody knows, but when it gets to nighttime, the zombies, there's like these particular zombies called volatiles come out of their caves because they don't like the sunlight, they're like UV. So they come out at night and they are horrendously strong and they just chase you. And the parkour elements in Dying Light mean that you're just, if one spots you, you ain't fighting it, you are running. Every so often you'll turn around and flash it with the UV torch, and then just to stun it, and you bugger off some more, and it's just so intense. But I really love it because I'm really a big fan of The Walking Dead, and it feels like you're playing The Walking Dead, like a good Walking Dead game. Because let's just acknowledge that a lot of the Walking Dead games aren't good. The Telltale ones are, but like some of the other ones, not so much. But like, because you've got this, because I always say like it's not really about the zombies. The zombies are a plot driver to get you to the other human stories, and the other elements that they're trying to survive and stuff like that. And it's all of the stories of you trying to survive or whatever else is going on. That driven by the enemies that just kind of grab you every so often and munch on you and stuff. And it's pretty tough to start with. The zombies are powerful, and then I've spent a couple of nights just hid in a bush because I've just been surrounded by these freaking volatiles and trying to get to a safe point, which is like there, and I can't figure out how to climb up it in the dark. If I put my torch on, they'll spot it, and I'm like, proper tense because I don't want to get murdered. It's super fun, but you are Kyle Crane, who was the protagonist in the first one, and he's been experimented on and injected with all sorts of stuff for like 14 years, and he's become like supercharged. He's got these because he's immune to the virus, but they've been injecting him with the viruses and different versions of it to kind of, and he's got loads of ability. He's stronger, and when he gets he goes beast mode, he can jump really high and do smashes, and it's really satisfying combat when you go into beast mode and you run up to a zombie, you go to smack him, and he just does this cutscene in the middle of combat where he puts his arm through the zombie, or he just pulls the head off it and stuff like that. He's like, that's fucking cool. But I'm probably about halfway through it, maybe story wise, but I don't know if he is the beast or if there's another thing that is the beast that you're chasing. I'm wondering if you're going to be the beast, but I have no idea at this point. It's just it's really cool though. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, there's that. And I've also been playing in between when I've been in bed or in the bath or didn't have a lot of time, because I can just do it on my phone on my little, what do they call them, backbones. I've been playing Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which is just super fun, because I love a survival type game, and it's just it's really cool, mining for materials and killing bad guys and trying to get through it and then dying right in the last boss because I didn't have enough health or power ups and stuff like that. It's cool. It's good fun. It's just Yeah, I like it. I know that Mark won't because it's like a roguelike type thing, but
Don't start me off. Don't start me
Yeah.
off.
Yourself across.
and also 300 achievements. That is going to get you. You've been playing that for
Wow.
quite a while. There's 300 achievements for 2000 G. I'm like, yes, let me at all of that.
That'll keep you busy.
So,
300 achievements from 30 minutes of gameplay. That's insane.
yeah.
Playing that for like 300 achievements. How do they keep you doing that? Don't start me.
Well, in that case, yeah, let's hear from you then, Mark. And next, what have you been up to? What have you been playing?
It's really funny that Addy mentioned the Telltale Walking Dead, because over the last week I finished the Walking Dead New Frontier. So
Oh,
it's been
nice.
so many years since I played the first two, and I've been dying to get back to the series, but just never had the time. But what I found is playing Telltale Walking Dead games with a brand new baby, bottle feeding one hand. You can play these games with the other hand. So these have been an absolute revelation for the last couple of weeks. So I've got through that and got the final chapter downloaded, ready to go. So love the originals, and I don't know how it's took me about 6 or 7 years to get back. So that's been really good fun.
How does it feel to pick it back up?
I think some of the things came back to me that there were definitely some things that I'd forgot. Like Clem's journey's been a bit changed since then. She's definitely grown up and become bigger. Yes, a lot of it came flooding back, but yeah. Definitely if you did a YouTube refresh for 5 minutes, and then I was good to go. But it's been quite some
previously
time.
on. Yeah.
I should play those. I never played this third or fourth ones like yourself, but yeah, I went back and I played a little bit of the first season like a year ago, but yeah, I should get to. Is the third season good? Like, does the story say good? Because I'd always got the impression that it kind of fell off a little.
Well, the one kind of thing it gave me vibes of, in like a bit of a similar kind of game way, but also kind of similar plot thing. If you played Life is Strange 2, and I love Life is Strange 2.
Yeah, I love Life is Strange 2.
Probably one of my favorite narrative games ever made. But it's got the story of two brothers and how they're kind of embedded around the story of Clem. And it just gave me Life is Strange 2 vibes, and that was enough to make me think it's probably my favorite of the three that I've played so far.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
loved it. Absolutely loved it. So, and you know that they're only kind of 2-hour episodes at a time, so you can kind of play them in snippets, and you can get through it in a week, nice and easy. So
I need to go back to the last one because I have started it and I did the first chapter and it did the great keep you hooked thing because the first chapter ended like dun, like almost like the end of EastEnders with the dun 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 dun. But I never they got distracted by something else. I do need to go back and finish it because they are good. I do really enjoy them. And Michonne was good as well. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was nice and short, wasn't it? I think it was about 3 chapters, that one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was good Michonne. I used to love the show, but then it just kind of fell on its arse, and then I completely fell off it. So
Yeah, the Walking Dead show I enjoyed for I think about the first season, but I think so many zombie properties, and again it's things like The Last of Us as well that goes into all of this. It ends up going to the same thing where eventually the zombies stop being a thing. They just end up being a sort of like a furnishing to the world instead of actually being like a focal point or a threat of any sort. And it becomes all about like, oh, humans are the real monsters. Humans are the people we struggle with most, and trying to get back to civilization. It's like, I get that, but I actually appreciate it when we get something like a zombie land, which I feel like is sort of what then your Dying Lights are kind of going for, where it's like, let's try and focus more on the zombie killing and survival of that side of it, as opposed to the deep sort of interwoven politics of different groups and things like that. But maybe I'm alone in that thinking that.
You are. I really like the human elements of it because it can't be if you're going to maintain a series. I know what you mean. If it's going to be zombie, especially in the first series, because they haven't established what the world's like yet, and they don't know who's existing and surviving. So I get that from the first season perspective, but then you can't maintain that for 11 seasons. It can't just be about killing zombies, can it? It's got to be, what are we fighting for? Otherwise, it's just mindless zombie murdering, and then it has to move to the human survival. What does the world look like? How do we make it work? And of course, the butting of heads, the bringing together of these really disparate people does make that more difficult. Because there is politics.
I understand what you're saying.
We should rule with an iron fist and all that sort of stuff. And I still love it. I got to the end. I haven't finished it. I got to the bit at the end of season 10 where they decided we're going to do another 8 episodes of season 10, and I haven't managed to pick up from there, and I haven't watched season 11. And obviously they did what is it called? I was called Ned, Daryl and Carol go on a rhyming extravaganza. Epic in that one. So, but yeah, no, I really enjoy it because there's some brilliant human stuff in that as well. Just look at the flowers. I won't spoil anything, but people who've watched it will know what I mean by that. And it's just, it was great. But yeah,
I don't want to.
I'm alone in that.
I don't want to derail the show and just make it like the TV and movie podcast. But have you guys seen 28 Years Later?
No.
Because that actually kind of gave like the horror or the zombie genre, I guess, a little bit of a shot in the arm for me. Because I was definitely fatigued on it for a bit there. But I don't know, that movie, like just the grittiness of it, the way that the performances are in it and stuff like that, kind of pulled me back in a way. I thought I liked it a lot.
I've only heard good things about it, definitely, and I love the first two films.
I've never seen the second one. I've only seen the first and the third one, the newest one.
Yeah, the second one's very good too. Definitely worth watching. Mark, what else? Because we cut you off. We derailed.
Sorry.
No, it's, a couple of other things as well. So the first one I'm going to shout about is a game called The Exit 8, which is the first game that I've played in one sitting in absolutely ages. And for those who've listening, or if you guys don't know, it's like a liminal space repeat kind of game based on the Japanese metro system. And you're going down a corridor, and every time you go down the corridor, something changes, or it doesn't. And if you spot a change in the corridor, you carry on. If you don't spot a change, you go back on yourself, or the other way around. I can't remember. But yeah,
it's the other way around.
The whole mechanic of the game, I can't remember.
Yeah, so it was a really short game, a couple of hours long, and every time you go down this corridor, something weird is going to happen. So either the gentleman that's walking towards you is either going to get a shift on, he's going to stare at you, people are going to be creeping out the doors looking at you, could be creepy faces appearing on the posters on the wall. There could be things like from The Shining, and all of a sudden there's a gush of water coming at you down the corridor. But also you could be going down 5 or 6 times in a row and nothing's changed, but it's that eerie feeling of, have I looked at everything to make sure it's all the same this time? But the kind of plot is that you've got to get through 8 loops of the subway to get to the exit. And the amount of times that I was getting to like 6 or 7 loops through, and then going through, and then Dara, you said you played it, so you probably know this. You get through and you think, oh yeah, I've definitely seen everything. Get through the loop, back to route 1, and then you've missed something so little.
Yeah.
It's
going to the poster and seeing it say like number 1 again or something like that. It's just so frustrating.
So what are the sort of things you're having to look out for that are different then? What are the little details, the discrepancies, that sort of thing?
So every time you start down the loop of the corridor, there's a gentleman that walks towards you. And sometimes he might be staring at you, sometimes he might have like an obscured face. There's a series of posters on the wall, and some of them have got eyes that will track you, like as you walk up and down.
Oh, okay.
And there's doors on the other side, and sometimes they could be like banging at you as you walk down. Like the audio cue one's really easy to find, but sometimes some of the faces on the posters are really distorted or weird. You'll have kind of enemies that come out of the tiled walls and charge at you. And probably the creepiest one, I don't want to spoil too much for people that play it, because there are so many like anomalies that are really weird in it. You walk around the corner and there's just 2 men stood at you, and it's kind of, they look like Yakuza versions of the 2 girls from The Shining at the corridor. And you walk around and absolutely shit my pants. So,
yeah. There's a really cool one. I played the VR version on the Quest, and there's a really cool one that's just exclusive to the VR version. I don't know if I should say what it is, but when I saw it, it actually made me shit myself because I'm so tense playing it in VR, because it's just, the subway system is just it's just tiles, like wall to wall. So seeing that, it can actually kind of give you vertigo a little bit in VR. But no, that's a really cool game. I really like it. I have the sequel on PlayStation. I haven't played it yet.
Oh, I didn't know it was a sequel already.
The platform one that's come out.
Yes. It's platform 8. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And also, my follow-up question is just going to be, what's the actual like tone of the game? Because I couldn't tell if it was like a sort of just a straight puzzle game, or it was actually just a very chill vibe, and you're just trying to check for like, you know, sort of like a hidden object type game, or if there was meant to be like an unsettling kind of like creepy vibe to it. And yeah, given the sort of anomalies that you're coming across, it sounds like it's going for the latter.
Very unsettling. Definitely unsettling.
It's very eerie and just, yeah, it's very ambient as well. The sound design is really interesting because you can always, it's like tunnely, but you can always, there's the sense that there is a crowd somewhere. There's like, it's almost like you can hear a crowd somewhere else in the system, but for you it's just a loop, you know, it's like PT or something, you know, where it's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, like you're trapped in a part, like, yeah, as you say, like the rest of it's there, you're trying to get back to the real subway. You're trapped in this pocket dimension of it. That's kind of cool. Well, yeah, Dara, then what have you been playing? 'Cause I take it's not been.
Did you have more to say, Mark? Sorry, I didn't want to just jump in too much.
The only one I will say, because I have, well, by the time this goes live, I'll have put my review out, is a game called Letters of War, which I've just finished playing, and is a pseudo sequel to the Valiant Hearts: The Great War, which I think Addy loves. I think we spoke about that before.
Yeah.
Really good kind of World War I era cartoon, like narrative tale. Told some really touching stories, some unique little gameplay moments, all in like a cartoon way of telling World War One, like, you know, horrific war stories. So Letters of War is a kind of pseudo sequel, and I believe some of the devs were part of the team that made Valiant Hearts. But it's based in World War II, and it's set on an actual true story. Some of the developers' family it's based on their like long lost people that are in the family. So there is like a real side to it. However, it just didn't really work out. If I'm honest, there are lots of issues that I had with the game. First of all, technically, what was very buggy. So I was struggling with some progression issues, and I had to reboot the game several times to get past. There were some bugs with the game. If you want to skip through the dialogue to get through a little bit quicker, it was actually cutting the later dialogue out. So I was losing kind of parts of the story as I was playing, which I thought was like an appalling mistake to have made in a book, something I'd never encountered before.
Yeah.
But that's kind of on the bug side. But I found that some of the storytelling really kind of lacked. There were plot holes that just weren't filled. So you play as a carpenter called Liam, who's called up into the army. The story just kind of plays out for him. It's quite interesting to do with him and his daughter who's at home. And it's all around kind of sending letters back to her, like hence the name Letters of War. But when you get to the end credits, it just kind of happens, and you think, well, was that it? Like, should there be something a bit more here? It just kind of falls a bit flat. And for you guys that have played Valiant Hearts, you've got those kind of like little action sequences where you might just for 30 seconds jump on an artillery gun, take out a few planes or something like that. But the action sequences in the game, there's probably about 10 in total in about 3 or 4 hour playtime. And at least half of them were just kind of running left and right trying to dodge the barrage of artillery fire. And sometimes you could even get hit by it and you'd survive. Sometimes you'd miss it and you'd die. It was just a really bad experience, to be honest. And you know what? I'm actually really disappointed, because when I heard about the game probably 2 months ago, I was really quite excited for it. I love Valiant Hearts, and I thought, bringing it to World War II brings new opportunities. Obviously, more advanced warfare. I'm not looking for a bombastic shooter here, but I thought they could have had some unique gameplay innovations, and especially when they were using a game as its inspiration, which is 10 years old now. I thought even a small dev team could kind of bring things along and make it more exciting. But I felt that the story, it was based on something like a real story, and it still fell flat. Several plot holes. The gameplay just didn't really do anything that creative that Valiant Hearts didn't do 10 years ago. And as I mentioned, the issues that I had with the bugs just made it a really, really difficult time. And hopefully the day one patch will sort it out for the developers. But I have to be honest, I don't plan to go back through to check that ahead of publishing a review. But yeah, really disappointed. It was something so promising, and sadly another stinker on my Gamer Social Club review card. So
you're taking a lot of hits for us over the last few months, definitely. I'm sorry to hear that, man, because it's a game that when I saw it as well, when we were talking about it on the Discord, I was like, oh, I'd love to go back to a game like that because I enjoyed Valiant Hearts as well. It was from that studio, Ubi Art, which made games like Valiant Hearts, Child of Light, and I think they worked on a couple of the Rayman games, Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends in particular, I think were the two they did. And yeah, fantastic studio. Like they had so much going for them, like making these really great little indie titles that we point out, and then obviously doing a fantastic job with Rayman. But yeah, was hoping for something more, obviously. But yeah, well, I look forward to reading your review of it anyway, to get the full lowdown on that. But yeah, I'll move on to you now, Darek, and otherwise we're going to completely run out of time for talking about the showcases.
Yeah. I by the time this goes out, my review for Hotel Barcelona will be live. So yeah, that's mainly what I had been playing mostly after last week's episode. And in terms of my own personal stuff, I was talking to you about this, Harry. Actually, I played The Drifter, the point-and-click adventure game, kind of noir-ish. Really, really cool game. Loved it. I had a great time with it. It's like very well, like narrative driven, point and click, great performances, wonderful aesthetic to it as well. Yeah, that was a really, really good game.
No, I'm really glad you enjoyed that. Like, I reviewed it for the site, and I think I did a handful of guides maybe for it as well. Yes, I definitely did. And yeah, I absolutely adored it. I thought it was really, really well written. I loved all the, as you said, like fully voice acted, and all the performances are great. There's so many memorable characters.
Yes, yeah,
and yeah, like in particular, as you said yourself, like I think the lead the chap does such a great job.
Yes, yeah,
in particular,
definitely one of my favorite performances of the year.
Yeah, they did a really good job of it. They really captured that sort of noir thriller kind of vibe in this point and click pixel art adventure game. And as you said, beautiful.
Yeah, very LucasArts kind of looking. It's cool seeing it kind of juxtaposed with this kind of noir kind of, I don't know, it's there's almost like kind of the atmosphere of something like a Drive or something to it, but you know, very pulpy and 80s. It's very cool.
Yeah, absolutely, completely agree. And I kind of said something like that in the intro to my review. I think just mentioning how like most of my experience with these sorts of games, growing up with things like LucasArts and all that, and enjoying Simon the Sorcerer and the Discworld series, and you know those sort of things that lean in more into the and of course you know the Monkey Island series. You know, and you know how they lean into the silliness, the slapstick, the comedic side of things, and a much more normally bright and rich in color. And then the Drifter is this, as you say, total shift away, and it works so well. So yeah, I'm really glad you enjoyed that, because yeah, it was one of my definitely one of my highlights of this year.
One thing I found actually really interesting about that is the whole kind of idea in it. So the main character has this ability where when he dies, he goes back a couple minutes, and you know, from a point and click adventure sense, it allows you to kind of solve the puzzle of him avoiding death. I thought it was interesting because it kind of takes a play on like the old King's Quest games. You know, the way in those games you would basically just touch anything and you die.
Yeah.
So obviously the puzzle would be just existing, just keeping the king alive and stuff like that. And it's cool to frame that in a narrative sense, from this kind of gritty perspective, this kind of grounded perspective, and also tell like a cool kind of sci-fi adjacent story with it. That's a really special game. I liked it a lot.
It's always fun when games are able to give a good, like, especially if they can weave it into the mechanics of the game and something like that, and the narrative of it, of like the reason why your character dies in a video game, or at least are able to explain it in a way which makes sense in world, and thus it doesn't sort of break immersion. You know, where Hell is Us to something similar, where the whole premise is that you're actually retelling the events of the game to somebody under like interrogation, being truth serum. So, and you've got a
polygraph
lie detector machine. I can't remember the technical
polygraph,
term. Polygraph machine. Thank you. You know, there as well, and the save points are polygraph machines. So of course they're tracking everything you've been saying and doing and all the rest of it. And then every time you die, you'll normally get like an audio clip of either like the dripping sound of more of the truth serum or the guy interrogating you like, that can't have happened. You clearly didn't die. Start again.
Oh, right. Like in Sands of
which is
Time or
great.
something. Yeah.
Like the first time it happened when I was playing the demo originally on the PC, like, months and months ago, I was just like that immediately, like, that just like proper scratched my brain in such a way. I was just like, yes, thank you for like making this all make sense. So like, I don't have to like force that bit of my brain to go like, but that doesn't make sense. You just died. Like, no. The game actually has explained it to me and it works so well. And yeah, the Drifter, again, another great example of that, I think. And again, building it as a mechanic as well, of course. It is just so clever with the puzzling, and as I said to you, and I certainly won't say anything here, but that final sequence, the use of that is so clever.
Really cool.
Really enjoyed that. Very cool climactic ending to that game. So I'm glad you're enjoying that. Anything else you've been playing, man?
I've played in just the span of a few hours. I played like the opening hour and a half ish of Silent Hill F, but I won't talk about that. Just because I barely played any of it. I also earlier this week, keeping on the kind of zombie thing, I actually did boot up Undead Nightmare, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, for a few hours. I've never played it like fully.
Oh man,
the multiplayer of it, but never played the actual like campaigning mission type stuff of it.
Dude, that's easily one of like the top 10 expansions or DLCs to a game, honestly, ever. Like it's so good. The amount of content you get with that, the way it completely changes how everything works across the whole game.
The last thing I did was the Sasquatch mission as well. Which I don't like. I didn't know was so like depressing by the end of it. It's really funny, which shouldn't be that much of a surprise considering it's it's Rockstar, but considering the tone of Red Dead Redemption and especially Red Dead 2, I was a little surprised by just how humorous and silly it all is, but it's completely like fitting with the kind of setting and what they're going for with the kind of B-movie kind of thing to it. It's also funny, playing it, having watched, the film Sinners earlier this year, which was also kind of a kind of period piece with, kind of zombies, or in that case, I guess it was vampires. It's a cool idea. I think there should be more kind of games that do that kind of thing of having it set in a certain era, but then with this kind of fantastical element to it.
No, I agree. And again, what a great picks, and what a blast from the past with Undead Nightmare in particular. That's so cool. I will quickly just say that I was playing a game called Wonder Stars for review. That is up already on the site. A really, really interesting, probably one of the most creative games I've played in a very long time. A episodic roguelite turn-based RPG where you use a selection of words to combo to make moves. So you can have something straightforward, just a punch or a kick or gun, or you can have a bunch of modifying words and element words to add to that. So you can have a super fast electric punch, or you can have a wide, heavy ice kick, or whatever you might be. And you're using sort of a certain amount of slots to use to fill with the words to make your attacks that then have cooldowns. So you're trying to use them strategically, all whilst trying to figure out the weaknesses and resistances of your enemies, because each time you go into a fight, they have different words that they're weak to or strong against. And so you're trying to kind of figure out like where the weaknesses are to try and beat them quickly. But there's an extra layer to combat which involves you not like just taking them down to like 0 HP. They've got like a give up kind of window, basically, where if you get them to fall to that amount of HP within the window, they essentially just sort of, stop fighting and will not attack. And you have the opportunity, once you've got everybody down to that state, or anybody who's still standing in the fight down to that state, to just peace out and just run away. But you get all the glory. You get a bunch of honor points, which you use at the end of every episode to permanently upgrade yourself, to give yourself more word slots, to unlock new words, to boost your base stats like health and all these sorts of things. And anybody who survives a fight with you becomes what is referred to as a pep up, which is like someone basically being like, they're now your friend, they like you, they respect you as a fighter, so they're going to give you this passive buff that might give you immunity to fire attacks, or might give you extra slots for your element words, but will take away a slot from your action words or something like that. So you've got all these different things you can equip as well, that to sort of change your play style and boost yourself as you're going through each episode of the game. And yeah, it's a fun story. You play as a little young martial artist called Ringo, who is looking for her brother, and who's paired up with an unlikely guy called Wolf, this sort of scoundrel. And they're trying to find bits of this thing called the Wonder Star map, which are these bits of a map that have all been torn up, but like will point to each other, and it is trying to assemble itself again. And along the way, you meet a ragtag bunch of interesting characters, and yeah, it's this sort of romp across the galaxy in the vibe and sort of art direction and sound design of a like 80s anime. So if you think like early Dragon Ball and stuff like that, like it's got this fantastic kind of, as I said, just sort of episode by episode narrative that really feels like it fits to the structure, and it's really fun. It's got it's got great twists, it's got cliffhangers, it's got epic showdowns at the end of each chapter with the boss, and yeah, there's a lot of love clearly put in by the team. Paper Castle Games being the studio who made it, and yeah, I had a couple of frustrating moments with certain elements of it, because there's a lot of sort of RNG with it being like a roguelike game, and I don't know if maybe it's got quite enough of a sort of approachable nature to it. It's got difficulty settings, but they don't, I feel, do quite enough to kind of allow people who may not want to deal with as much of that kind of sort of pushback with those mechanics to get into a game like this. But I give them a massive amount of credit for the creativity and just the number of different things they've put into this game, which is so cool and different. So yeah, I wanted to highlight that before we move straight into talking about the showcases. So yeah, of course, it's been Tokyo Game Show over the last few days. We have been covering it here on the Gamer Social Club site. You can thank Adam for, I think, the majority of the showcase roundups so far, but we've done a couple of others here and there. I myself covered the Annapurna interactive one. A whole 3 games, ladies and gentlemen. A whole 3 games. Indeed.
Worth it, guys. Worth
Took
it.
the afternoon after that one.
Absolute legend.
But yeah, so we are going to pick some of our highlights from the shows, all the different ones that have been out, that have happened thus far, that we've been covering. So that includes things like the Xbox showcase that happened earlier today, the PlayStation State of Play, which we had yesterday. Well, again, this will be a few days back then once this goes up, but you understand where I'm coming from. We're in the past right now, you see, and you're listening in the present. So we are going to go round, I think, and just, yeah, highlight whichever ones you want, say whichever showcase they're from. And I think maybe at the end of it, if we've got time, we might do a fun little grading of the showcases, or maybe just say what we think the best one was, maybe so far. And of course, we've talked a lot about showcases in the past here at Gamer Social Club. We do a lot to cover them, in particular, Adam, credit to you, my friend. And of course, you wrote a fantastic editorial about showcases and whether or not we have too many of them, or if they're structured correctly.
Clearly. No one's
Exactly.
listening. Stop it with all the showcases, please.
So yeah, we're going to have that down below in the description as well. So please do check that out, because it is a really, really fantastic article that Adam did a lot of work on. So yeah. Anyway, does anybody want to jump in first with one? I've already got a couple I've got in the bank, as it were. Happy to take the lead, but if anybody wants to, go for it. I'm just making sure I've got all my pages lined up here.
Are we going showcase by showcase? Are we going?
I think we just pick from whichever one,
and
just say which showcase it was at. I think that's all you really need to do at this point. And at the end, we can say whichever, but maybe what was our favorite or something like that.
Can I start with a slightly negative before I get into my positives?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
The one thing that I was really unimpressed by, what the fuck is that combat in Pragmata? That game looks so cool. What on earth is going on there? It looks so.
I think it looks great. It looks so cool.
Interesting. Yeah, this is going to be
Really?
interesting.
Oh,
Is this the solve the puzzle before you can do the damage thing?
Yeah,
You're playing Snake while you're shooting people.
Yeah.
Why?
This is So this is what's interesting to me because so the Snake is like the pipe puzzle from BioShock when you're trying to hack things. It's very much a hacking mini game as you're doing your third person shooting. If people haven't seen this.
Can you still do damage and shoot without completing the hacking minigame, or do you have to complete the hacking minigame before you can do damage? Because I think that will be tedious. But if you can still like do the damage, but not as much, or you get a buff for doing the puzzle fully or well, or I suppose we don't know yet. But
yeah, my impression from it, given the recent stuff we saw over Tokyo Game Show, it seemed to imply that you could still damage things, but it wasn't going to be nearly as effective as if you were.
Yeah, you're getting like critical hits by progressing in the minigame
and stuff like that, isn't it? It's sort of doing that, or like bypassing shields, all that sort of stuff. So
it looks like Horizon kind of, because you're lopping bits off of the enemies and stuff.
So yeah, but you're not a fan, Mark. You're what is it? Is it because you were hoping for something that was more just your classic sort of third-person shooter? Maybe the girl was just like, some sort of like, she was doing like, special attacks with you or something like that. Is that kind of more what you were hoping for?
Yeah, I think so. I think I was kind of like expecting this kind of like buddy shooter, like a single-player buddy shooter. We were like the girl, I forget her name, like with you was like the android character. But yeah, I thought everything looked amazing about Pragmata. And when they kind of brought it back, which I think was at Summer Games Fest, or it was maybe even back at the Game Awards, I can't remember which Jeff Keighley show it was. But it was MIA for so long, came back, looked so promising, and then was expecting something kind of like, Vanquish level shooting going on. And then like trying to play a puzzle while I'm trying to shoot something. Like, I mean, for a Call of Duty and Battlefield, boy, that is just like, nah, I can't be dealing with that. Like active reload, yeah, give me that all day. But something that's going to get in the way of my trigger finger, I can't be doing it. Can't be dealing with it, guys. I'm really disappointed.
Would you have preferred it if the main character like drop kicked the android kid at the enemy instead, like, so just
hell yeah,
like
swinging her.
Use her with a baseball bat.
Yeah, just wheel her, just start batting her with it.
I just had it like in my mind. She'd be like this kind of like spell caster that sit on your back, and she'd do like kind of like combos and things like that as part of the combat. But little pop-up puzzles, man. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Disappointed.
That's what she's called.
So from what I can see, because I actually just had a look at the most recent trailer just to have a look at the minigame. You're doing it and then you're shooting. So you hack into the enemy, and then it's kind of like in if you played Nier Automata. During the 9S story, you hack into them by playing like a little kind of shoot 'em up minigame, and then you get to like break their shield and fight the enemy and stuff like that. And I don't know, from previews and stuff like that, it seems like it's, people are saying that it's a really like interesting thing once you get your hands on it. But I definitely can see, it does feel like it's a barrier to entry just for it from being like a more traditional shooter.
Definitely. I agree with that.
It's just providing that doesn't get tedious, I suppose, isn't it? Because it could be where.
Yeah, they do need to keep it fresh.
And
if it's the case where sort of as you're progressing through the game, again, it depends how it's structured and all these sort of things. But if you're coming across weaker enemies, hopefully it'd be the sort of case where it's like, oh, we're so powerful now, so far advanced in the game that we don't have to do that anymore. We can just sort of auto bypass, and you can just start shooting at them because they're like little weak enemies. You don't need to worry about them. But the bigger enemies, you might still need to do the actual hacking minigame before you can get into combat with them, because otherwise you're going to spend all your time dealing with everything along the way, and it could just drag the whole game down momentum wise. It
does also look like you're like doing stat like debuffs and stuff on them, because there are little like squares appearing over their health bar, kind of like RPG mechanics or something like that. So it does seem like there's a little bit more complexity to what we've seen.
Yeah.
Just assuming, anyways. Just I don't know what the symbols mean, but they're there.
No. Well, hopefully we can learn some more soon.
Yeah. I mean, Capcom have been.
I hope they put out a demo for that.
haven't they? Capcom have been on a hell of a run in the last few years. They've just not really missed. The
Absolutely.
Monster thing recently, I suppose, it hasn't met expectations and stuff, but people still enjoying it, aren't they? So I'm glad that they're still not playing it safe, I suppose, from what we've seen with Pragmata, but we'll have to see if it's a rare misstep at the moment or not. Well, yet to be seen.
Yeah.
It is also like not common for them to do like a big new IP anymore. Like other than like they do stuff like in multiplayer, like Exoprimal and stuff, but in terms of like their big, I can't remember. Maybe the last one was like Dragon's Dogma or something. Like in terms of like new IPs, anyways.
Yeah, it has certainly been a while since we've had a new one join the ranks of sort of Monster Hunter and well, things like Dead Rising now, of course, are kind of bowing out. But there was a time when Dead Rising and things like that was sort of one of their bigger series.
I kind of think they're pushing back to bring Dead Rising back because with the special super deluxe expensive remake or whatever it's called, all of the adjectives. I feel like they've done that to try and regenerate interest in the series because 4, with 3 being an Xbox exclusive still, surprisingly, and then 4 being a bit of a misfire. I think they maybe try to reinvigorate the series by say if people bought that, they're still interested in it, then that justifies another one, maybe.
I don't know if it did sell well though. That's the thing, yeah.
I enjoyed the first
thing, bad remake and killed it off completely. I feel it's gone that way.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I think people were a little bit mixed on the deluxe remaster Dior.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, Dior.
Yeah,
think of that second episode of The Simpsons. RDRR.
Yeah, I got into the series of 2 in particular. 2 was the one I kind of hoped that they would go back to, just because I felt I enjoyed playing the first one, but its focus on sort of the sort of more the photography and everything like that, as opposed to like when the second brought in like the combo weapons and stuff, where it got really more goofy and ridiculous, which already was. But
I had a lot of love for the third one, to be honest. I just really enjoyed that. I had a lot of love for that one. I did all the multiplayer stuff recently to try and mop up the achievement stuff and did some boosting parties and stuff like that. And it was just really good fun. It's very silly, but it's very fun. Yeah. And
that's it. Like I guess as far as like the zombie thing is concerned, like I very much lean more towards that tone of zombie content over like The Last of Us and The Walking Dead. Like I'd rather play like a Dead Rising or I don't know, something stupid like a Lollipop Chainsaw or something like that. You know what I mean?
Chainsaw's great.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's
the Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yeah, I just bought that recently. The remake, because it was like 40% off. I'm like, well, I'll have to get that.
Don't ask me my opinions on the remaster. But I don't want this episode to be 4 hours long.
Right.
No, but hey, Mark, did you want to say anything else about Pragmata, or did you want to move on to your first pick?
I haven't even got his first pick yet. He slagged off Pragmata.
we picked one out just to beat it up for a minute, and then.
No, it started with like a negative, but overall, I think there's been a cracking couple of showcases across Xbox and PlayStation. I think that the kind of, because I think some of you guys will probably pick up on some of the big hitters like Wolverine and the like to come. So I think the big one that I really enjoyed actually was just seeing the Battlefield 6 campaign. I love single player shooter campaigns. Kind of, I'm going to play tens, hundreds of hours of Battlefield Online with the guys. But a single player campaign that's about 6 to 10 hours long, that's just blowing the smithereens out of everything, learning me how to use the tanks, learning how to pilot the aircraft for multiplayer. And kind of looks like we're going to go across lots of the environments that are in multiplayer. So Gibraltar, New York, it's kind of like a staging ground for the multiplayer. But I think it just looks amazing. And EA, and DICE, when they had their hands all over Battlefield, but it's more studios now. But kind of going back to that era of that Battlefield trailer, they just nail it every single time, and they get me with a hype because it just gets things getting blown up, missiles flying across the screen. Oh man, I'm such like a military fanboy. So I think I'm really sold on that, and all I need is about 6 to 10 hours of it, and I'll be happy as Larry. So I think it looks mint, and there's so many big games appeared in this show, but that kind of that campaign really stood out to me, and I think it's going to be absolutely class. So can't wait for it. And obviously, the last Battlefield didn't have a campaign, so I didn't even buy it.
Yeah.
So apparently, it's a bit shit anyway. But yeah, I love the campaigns in 3 and 4. I play the Call of Duty campaigns every year. They're just kind of like short, niche, 10-hour shooter is kind of bread and butter for me. So can't wait for it. I think that's on your radar as well, Adam. I think Battlefield.
Oh God, absolutely! I'm fully with you. I love a shooter campaign, like a proper one like that. I mean, Bad Company is still one of my favorites. And Bad Company. Oh, he accidentally invaded another country. Oh, how bad! I just think the tone of Bad Company was just brilliant. But I do know what you mean, though. Like, I love all of the 3 and 4 campaigns and stuff like that, and like modern, like Call of Duties and stuff. I think they're great, and it really annoyed me when they started to like, oh, we're not going to do it this year. Like, what do you want about? But I'm glad that they're coming back. They're just seeing the value that there is there, and you're absolutely right. I really like when they set it up for the multiplayer. I can't remember which game it was, but it was almost like the last level went into a multiplayer match. I can't like which game it was, but there was one that it felt like you finished the campaign and then you went into multiplayer. It was like the perfect seamless connection, but I can't remember which one it was. It was really
Battlefield
good.
1, because they did like the war stories, didn't they?
Yes, it might have been Battlefield 1. It was either 5 or 1, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah, the war stories in 1 were so good. Like everything was kind of told as like a true tale of war. It's fantastic. So I don't think they'll go into it as hard this time, but it is just a modern milsim kind of game. But oh man, can't wait. Next Friday, isn't it? So close.
No, it's the 10th of October.
Oh no.
Another week.
Yes.
Sorry.
the wind leaving.
Dun, 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 dun.
Good punch.
Is that a rough evening, everybody? Oh dear.
My first pick. That's mine.
Very good. And that was at the PlayStation State of Play, if I remember correctly. So yeah, Dara, what about you? What's your first pick?
I didn't love any of the showcases in particular, but one thing that was kind of off to the side in its own showcase, probably my biggest thing of the week was Yakuza Kiwami 3.
Yes.
That was revealed by RGG Studio at their own thing, which they communicated a few weeks ahead of time, and it's a proper remake of Yakuza 3. Which is currently, I guess, kind of the hardest one to go back to because the only version of it that's available now is the PS3 version, and it was a really early PS3 game. It's one of the things that if you had asked me a few years ago, I probably wouldn't have said I wanted a remake, but now that there's even more distance from it and, seeing it in action, I can't wait for it. It's always been one of the rougher entries, but also a little bit underrated in that the story in it is a lot smaller scale and is not great in a lot of ways, but it does have some of the best character moments, I think, because it's basically Kiryu running an orphanage for the first half of it. And it's very slow paced, but there's some really good moments between him and the kids at the orphanage and stuff. And then when it gets into the actual Yakuza story, it never really finds itself, but the idea now that RGG Studios being as good as they are now, or going back and are really just touching it up and really embellishing on some things and fleshing out a lot of elements of it has me really excited. And it's also coming with a new story as well, following the villain of the game. That's a prequel, and that looks really cool. I'm really excited for all of that stuff.
That's cool.
And it's out really soon. Yeah, they're doing a lot to it, and it's out in February. So
wow,
most RGG Studios games, it's just out in 6 months after it's been announced.
Very cool. Yeah, and again, I'll put my hand up right now and say that I was whenever that announcement was made, years old when I discovered that the Kiwami series were a remaster series. I wasn't aware of that.
Oh yeah.
I just assumed they were just another spin-off series from just the Yakuza branch. Didn't realize that was basically their equivalent of a remastered whatever, sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it's not just remakes, it's reimaginings as well, because the first one was in the Zero engine and played off a lot of the assets from Yakuza 0. And then the second one was in the Yakuza 6 engine and played off a lot from that. And they're actually getting remasters as well now, ahead of this, with English dubs and all of that. So it's cool. It's cool to see, them just doing everything. That's one of my favorite series, so they can do whatever they want.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's one of the easiest things to like bet on in the industry as well. Like they're always at least good.
Okay, well, fair. I was going to say, so there's always a Yakuza game being made, and there's nearly always like a Trials game being made. There are certain series of games. There's always one of them being made at some point or in time.
You keep cutting out. I can't hear what you just said.
Oh, I just said that there's always a Yakuza game being made, or there's always a Trials game being made, or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like they're always constants. But Adam, what is your first pick from the showcases and the surrounding things as well? Yeah, this has not been exactly like a collection of showcases in the same way. It's kind of a bit more sort of
I would start with the negative and call out Sony, and you need to get their heads in the gear with making fucking dual sensors that look fucking decent, for the love of God.
Yeah.
The special edition dual sensors, why did they even bother? They always look cheap as fuck or terrible. Bar there's 30th anniversary, which is just dripping in nostalgia. People love it. Like grey is not a great color, but it works because of the OG PlayStation and the colors of the buttons, right? Like it's not. Like get that! I've got it. Like I am a sucker because I got it. It's fine. But like, yeah, God, that.
What's your take on the Death Stranding one? Because I have that one and I don't love it.
No, I don't think I've seen a DualSense I like, because it might find that they stick something on the pad in the middle and like, what are you doing? It don't look right. Like
I have a pre-order on the Astrobot one though. I do love that one. I've seen it in person.
But then I saw the one in person and it was too blue. The pictures I saw like online looked like more like the blue that like not the neon and Mark's picked in his video, but when you saw a picture, it looked a bit more plasticky, and I'm like, I don't ever like that. I also thought that it was blinking at me. I also thought that they made it blink on the touchpad. I thought that's what they need to do. That would be cool. That the eyes follow you around wherever you go on the touchpad. Like they put like a.
I kind of like the Concorde one. Controversially,
that was all right.
It's really nice.
Yeah,
but yeah. So calling them out because he just put a red stripe on it and made the buttons a bit red. And like, nah, what are you doing? Yeah, because you got design lab. Look at design lab. You can do any million ways of which color or whatever else, so that you can get those Witcher pads. Mm-hmm. Those Witcher 3 ones look amazing, and like I can't buy any more Xbox pads. I still want to see a Thieves one. My one big regret is not buying that when I could have done.
That is my pride and joy.
That is such a lovely controller.
I love that with the little stand and everything.
Anyway, an aside. The one I was going to highlight first, to be honest, I liked both the State of Play and the Xbox live stream because they weren't overhyped. They weren't like promising a million the next best things. They were updates to existing games. They were here's some DLC coming, some teasers, some announcements, some release dates, some new stuff, some indies. It was a good mix of stuff. I was very surprised that Ghost of Yurtai wasn't in the PlayStation one, given it's out next week. Like, if you could, like, okay, they might be worrying about overdoing it, but if you're gonna put it in, you put it in the week before it coming out. Like, just get a bit of a nudge. Don't forget, it's out next week.
Yeah.
Very surprised.
Yeah, they could have put the launch trailer in there that dropped today.
Yeah, exactly. Just put it in. Like, it was only 35 minutes. It wouldn't have killed them to put in another minute, would it? Like, you'd probably been doing all right. Very odd that they didn't put that in from my perspective.
They could have just opened with that. To be fair, it would have been fine.
Yeah, and there was lots of varied stuff, and nothing was like, oh my god, that looks amazing! I can't wait to play it. I want to see more of Wolverine. I was like, yes, it's fine, but I want to know what the story is going to be and stuff like that, because I think like it reminded me of Wolverine games in the same way that Spider-Man reminded me of Spider-Man games. Like, but what's it about? What are the mechanics of it? Because it looks gory and glorious. Let's go. But I just feel like it's missing. I don't know, because even in the PlayStation blog that followed for Wolverine, there was no plot points. There was nothing. This is what's happening. It was like, oh, he's lost his memory and he's traveling the world, and these are the locales he'll go to, and here's some of the characters I meet, and like that's it. Like, okay, so we're not confirming anything right now.
I mean, it's kind of a story that's been told in like a lot of different versions of Wolverine. Because me and like my partner, when we were watching it, we were kind of picking up on stuff. It's like, oh, so he needs to go to Japan here because in this, like, you know, in the movies and in the comics, he's gone to Japan for this reason and that reason and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm a bit. I don't know where I'm at with it because I was a bit like, oh yeah, looks fine, looks really like gory, love it. The claws through the face, great. But like, because you want that for a Wolverine game, right? You want it to be the 18 rated. It needs to be, obscene, and stuff like that. But I just want to know. Yeah, are they going to be leaning too much on the? Are they going to make it their own?
Mm.
Or are they going to take too much from the films or what we already have seen? Like, because I know Insomniac are very good at storytelling. I love the Spider-Man games and stuff like that. But I'm just worried if they're gonna. Are they worried about playing it safe? Or are they going a particular route with it? And I'm not. We don't know, so I'm not sure. But if you're like you say, he has to go there because of this. Like, if it's a known story, is that? Like,
well, yeah, no, I don't think it's a known story, but I think it's probably like because there's already you see like Omega Red and Mystique and stuff in the trailer, and it's this idea that like they're probably using Logan and like centering on him to flesh out a wider kind of Insomniac like X-Men universe. So I imagine where he goes will be kind of carried by the possibility of like fleshing out the world that he's in,
right? Yeah.
And introducing their version of the mutants and stuff.
Yeah, which are very cool to see. If they're going to really kind of go big on it, I'm all for it, absolutely. But I was like, it did remind me of like all the Wolverine games. So like, okay, because it goes, the close up when he's just jabbing the guy. Like, I've been in that quick time event. Like, seen it. But that wasn't what I was going to point out. What I was going to point out was Chronoscript: The Endless End, which just looked fantastic. It really jumped out as something very different in the rest of the showcase. The state of play, sorry. And it's about an editor who's trapped in a manuscript, has been trapped there for like 1,000 years, and the game is about trying to finish the story and get on, we're guessing, escape. But it's like this, it looks like a hand-drawn, like inked, like Metroidvania type thing. It's described as an action adventure, not as a Metroidvania, because I'd not seen much else about it other than this. This is the reveal trailer in it, but it just looks fantastic. And I'm very excited to see more of it. I just love the art style. It looks like it's hand drawn and it just looks very pretty. And give me more of that. That looks great.
Fantastic.
That was a long way to get to that. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Yeah. And again, that's state of play, wasn't it? That was also again.
Yeah, state of play.
Yeah. Well, sticking with the state of play, I will just say mine quickly now, and then we can move on to Dara for your first pick, because mine is going to be Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition remastered, because I really popped off for this, and it was again at the PlayStation State of Play. I'd heard rumblings and seen that people were talking about how Koei Tecmo were going to be remastering one of the older Dynasty Warriors titles, and I'd always hoped it would be one of either 2, 3, 4, or even 5, because that is sort of the sweet spot for the series. I think for most fans of Dynasty Warriors, it's a big game from my childhood. I played a lot with my brother growing up. Again, originally released in 2001, with the Extreme Legends sort of expansion being released. I think it was in 2003, and this brings all of that together into one game, alongside visual updates and things like that through Unreal Engine 5. Looks great, and it goes back to the sort of the core of the game, because Dynasty Warriors 3, as much as it wasn't the first of its kind, because Dynasty Warriors 2 was actually the first to introduce the sort of 1 versus 1,000 battles and everything like that everyone knows Dynasty Warriors 4. The first game being, if I remember correctly, just a straight up fighting game, if I remember correctly. So then they made I think
it was
shift.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, they made a dramatic shift with the second one, which was a launch title on the PS2, which I remember picking up, thinking it was a fighting game, not really knowing what I was getting, and discovering it was this amazing game where you could play heroes during a period in Chinese history known as the Three Kingdoms, when you had this huge period of war basically all across China, as these 3 different factions vied for power and ruling over China. And it's great. You play all these different heroic legends from history. It's all very dramatized. It's based off of a 14th century manuscript that tells the story, and it's all very blown out of proportion and things like that. But great, just sort of serotonin filled fun of just like plowing through hundreds of thousands of enemies, these little grunt enemies. It's the sort of thing that like you feel like they should have looked at when they were looking earlier on at like making the Warhammer Space Marine game, because they didn't quite nail it with the first game of giving you that sense of cutting through swathes of enemies. But then they managed to grab it with the most recent one, and Dynasty Warriors has always been able to kind of capture that, which is great fun. So yeah, just wanted to highlight that, and that's coming out in March, I think it is. So again, another one we don't have to wait too long for. So really, really happy to see that, and sent my article straight to my brother after I'd written it to let him know, and he's going to pick it up as well, so we can get back to playing co-op together, which is great. Yeah, Dara, what's your first pick?
I think it's Mark's go actually, because I already went. I picked Yakuza.
You go. You go, Dara. You go.
All right. My second one would be Saros, the sequel to Returnal, which was in the state of play, because I loved Returnal. It and Astrobot are probably my favorite things that like Sony has done this generation, and I feel like not a lot of people like really like. I feel like a lot of people play Returnal, but I don't think a lot of people really stuck with it. But it's a really, really amazing like bullet hell shooter and stuff. It's obviously tough as nails. But the story to it I thought was incredible, like with the setting, and it's kind of got like a psychological horror kind of story. It's actually quite Silent Hill-ish. And the thing with Saros is, they show it off. It obviously looks incredible. Rahul Kohli is the lead, which is awesome and stuff. But they show off all of the gameplay and all of the cool bullet hell stuff. There's like a million different types of projectiles, and you've got a shield and stuff. And it's more so just kind of like looking at it and scrutinizing over the details. Like, why is the setting this way? Why is the sun kind of the big emphasis? The sun kind of burning out or whatever, kind of the loop thing. Because the way Returnal pulled all of that stuff together narratively was what I think made that game like go beyond just a really good game into just like a really great like experience, and a great kind of work of art. That's what has me most excited about Saros, and especially because I think Housemarque is an incredibly good developer. This is like absolutely up their wheelhouse, seeing them take kind of arcadey, traditionally, very gamey kind of gameplay and apply it to cool settings and storytelling kind of type, just type swings. It's very interesting and unique, I think, in the pantheon of PlayStation games, which are very heavy on and narrative. But you have this one, which is very heavy on the gameplay, and then also has the narrative support.
Yeah,
I was a bit. I love Returnal. I haven't finished it, so I do need to do that. I was surprised that like it's the first Housemarque game I've played. Is Returnal, but I was surprised at how similar to Returnal it looked in terms of the gameplay. What the kind of things, all the bullets are coming at me and dodging.
Yeah, it is a sequel.
Is it a sequel?
Yeah, they said that when they revealed it, that it's I think they described it as a spiritual sequel, but they basically pitched it with the kind of the same idea as Returnal.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. I'd not plotted that, so yeah, I was a bit like. I was a bit worried that they've like, here's a new game. It looks like the last one. And you're like, oh no, God, that's
for all intents and purposes, it is Returnal 2, but I don't, because of how specific Returnal is to itself, they can't really just do Returnal 2.
Oh, that's fine. I really like I did like the concept around like you've got your shield, you absorb the bullets and you fire them back type thing, and like the mechanics with the different buttons on the triggers and stuff. So, that'll add a different gameplay element to it rather than just shoot and dodge and more. So it looks. I really like the look of it though. It did look fun, but I was a bit like, but that's great. If it's meant to look like that, then that's fine.
Yeah. And as someone who stayed away from Returnal, having heard how difficult it was, and it being not the sort of game I would naturally kind of be drawn to anyway, but being intrigued by it and then hearing them about them adding in things like co-op, I've been tempted to go back to it. But then listening to
I've actually never even played the co-op.
Yeah, and I've heard it's very good, so I've been intrigued to try it out now. Might see if I can get a sort of secondhand copy of it or something. But Saros, it sounds like, might have, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember when watching that trailer, they showed off that sort of, when he went down the first time and then got back up, they made a point of saying that like the time when you come back, you actually come back stronger than you were when you went down from the sound of things. That seemed to be how they were sort of phrasing things. So I appreciate that as someone who is like, oh man, like I'm going to suck at this, and I'm going to spend a lot of time just going in, trying the first run, dying within the first room or two, because I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of bullets and everything. I just don't know what I'm doing, and just
I think that also has a lot to do with roguelikes in general. Like, I don't think Returnal is a roguelike. I think it's more of like, whatever this means, but like a roguelite in that it's not, so strict to being a roguelike. But I think when you do a sequel to those, you do kind of need to diversify it a little bit, so that even me as somebody who played through all of Returnal doesn't come back and feel like I'm just doing the same thing again. So that mechanic also kind of works as a returning kind of player as well as like for newcomers.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm intrigued by it as well, definitely. Cool. Mark, let's hear your second pick.
For me, it's got to be Forza Horizon 6. I absolutely love Forza Horizon. I've been playing them since the original. Smashed all the achievements on Forza Horizon 1. Still listen to the soundtrack on Spotify all the time. So some absolute bangers in that. And I've played the hell out of every single one. So absolutely love the series to bits. And I think everyone's been clamming for the journey to Japan for the festival. And we finally going to get it. Excuse me. Finally going to get it next year. So lots of talk around it being the biggest Horizon map ever. Don't think that really bothers me too much, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with the size of the maps that we've had, with most recently 4 in the UK and 5 in Mexico. But I just think it's going to be something special. Getting far too ahead of myself now, but Forza Horizon has a history of some amazing DLC, and it's always wacky, and it's always a bit kind of collaboration with like a Hot Wheels or with like a Lego. There's always something weird going on. But the thought of what they could do with a collaboration for DLC with that kind of outside of the core game, I'm getting well ahead of myself. This is going to be deep into 2027 at the earliest, but something's going to be special. So the culture, like pop culture collaborations they could have with Japan, I think there's going to be something amazing there. But the backdrop in the trailer was always going to be Mount Fuji, like a short teaser trailer. But kind of thinking about some of the amazing areas in Japan that we can drive around, and I think having the Microsoft Flight Simulator Japan add-on trailer about 10 minutes before the Forza trailer just kind of whets the appetite for the landscapes that we're going to be going to in Forza. And obviously they're all kind of micro versions of the real places that they're based on. But has there ever been a Forza Horizon that's anything less than a 9 out of 10? The games are amazing. The social aspects are brilliant. The post-launch support. You get 2 paid DLC packs, but you get shed loads of quality free content. And I'm a big sucker for the Eliminator, even though some people get super pissed off with it. But I think it's a great little mode. But yeah, Forza Horizon 6, absolutely bring it on. Just the one thing on it, obviously they were a bit didn't announce it and like directly in the showcase, but it is coming to PlayStation 5 later. It's going to launch first on Xbox. I just wish Xbox would just get this messaging thing down. Like, honestly, just bring it to PS5 on day one. Like, Xbox fans don't care anymore. Just bring it to Xbox on launch day. And it just creates this stupid nothingness conversation online. Every time an Xbox game comes out, is it on PlayStation? Is it on PlayStation? Just put it on there, man. Like, ride the hype. Why do you want to pay for 2 global marketing campaigns for this game? Just put it on everything on day one. I don't understand it, but bring the game on. I'm going to play it in Game Pass anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. But it's just put it on PlayStation. No one gives a shit anymore.
The only thing I could think of for that, because I thought the same thing, and I was like, what's the point? Because it's gonna be like, look at Indiana Jones. It was like, what, 3 months, and they announced it at the time, didn't they? We'll find out when it's coming out on PlayStation like next year, but it'll release like in. But the only thing I could think of is that the planning, it's where it is in development, it's not going to come out till November, and maybe that's also including a port development time, and they're just like, because they've already got lined up Forza, Gears, possibly a Halo, like they're trying to, and Fable, they're trying to make 2026 like the big woo, yay, this is our 20th year sort of thing, and the big celebration. And the PS5 port might make it miss that, That's all I think I could think of. But
Yeah,
they said the PS5 port was being co-developed by Turn 10, which is interesting. The Forza Motorsport
yeah.
They
team.
just cut their team in half. They don't have the
They've
resource.
basically
Yeah, well,
absorbed everything
yeah.
kind of partially. Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can think of, because otherwise it makes
Self-inflicted wound on that one.
Yeah. Well, absolutely, yeah. If only we had some more people who could do this for us.
I thought it was a wicked little tease trailer though, with the like the license plates from all the different countries. I thought, they're just playing homage to the series history. And obviously Colorado, France, Australia. One or three is my favourite. Probably one, then three, and two is probably my least favourite of them all. But man, banger after banger after banger. Every game's a 9 out of 10 or above. So.
I loved 5 though, because I went to Mexico on a honeymoon and it came out around that time. And then when you just kind of like you get airdropped into the top of the volcano and you're going through this just so cool, isn't it? It's just super fun. I love the game. It's great.
Yeah.
DLC prediction. DLC prediction for that one. The Japan one, Godzilla. You've got Godzilla on the map. You've got to dodge him.
But the big events where you're racing like a giant hovercraft or whatever else, like just make that Godzilla.
You've got to race Godzilla on foot.
That's a great shout.
You got to race a giant mecha, like a Zord.
Yeah, Evangelion. Gundam.
The Megazord.
Yeah.
Oh, the Megazord. Oh, yeah. There's so much stuff.
They probably will get Gundam, actually. Gundam does a lot of collabs.
What would be cool to see is if they were able to bring like vehicles in. Unfortunately, big characters from like Japanese media, I don't know many cool cars have come over, but like Kamen Rider, for example, is a great character. Unfortunately, he has like a motorcycle, and like I don't think they're going to introduce like motorcycles and stuff like that probably to the game, because it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, but they could have him in it.
Yeah,
or whatever
incarnation.
Yeah.
Or Speed Racer. I know that's not really like much of a thing anymore, but it's like history.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, and again, you could do other fun collabs like Transformers and stuff like that. Get to drive.
Oh, Transformers would be good.
Stuff like that could be kind of cool. But no, definitely.
That's what we need. Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah. The Soul Course we bashed off into the water.
Things and
that'd be great. That's a good.
Just Fall Guys with cars.
Yeah. That would be brilliant. Adam, let's see your next one.
I honestly don't know.
Oh, okay.
Like I really like because we picked up I really like Saros. Curse you, Saros. And like everything else was like there's nothing that I like Wolverine as well. We've talked about that, but like nothing was. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this, because it was kind of like the whole thing. TGS, I feel like it needs a bit more of maybe a bit more hype to it, because it just feels like there's a lot of here's a chance to do some updates. Like kind of like Gamescom, it's like in between June, where everybody has a freaking showcase, and then Game Awards where we do 4 hours of nonsense and we forget about the awards. Wrap it up, please. But like, I don't know. Like, there's some cool stuff. I like the look of Winterboro.
I was going to mention that one.
Yeah. The one that made me laugh was the Rhythm Doctor.
That was a cool trailer.
Mental.
Yeah, where it's just like it's a rhythm game where you heal patients by defibrillating in time to their heartbeats, and it's just one button. And I'm a sucker for a rhythm game because I'm a big Guitar Hero rock band fan. So like I feel like that was probably like speaking to me perhaps, and it's zany as well. Like it starts by going, "This is an unedited clip of how it's complete gameplay," and it's just like beep, 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 and like okay, cool, that's fair enough. So I like that. There's a lot of stuff, but it's just like cool. There's some nice updates. They give an announcement who's playing Q in 007 Last Light, and then they've added Bruce Lee to Hitman, and the like as a what they call them. Elusive target, yeah. So like it's cool stuff like that, and I like stuff like that. But it, like in terms of like if you're looking for big announcements, this weren't the place. Forza Horizon 6 probably the biggest announcement so far, I think. And it was only a teaser, like.
Yeah, a real teaser. We heard a car. didn't even
We
get to
heard
see
a
like
car. Absolutely, there's not even a car. Show. Absolutely, yeah.
we didn't even get to see what the poster
But I
car
go
is
back
going
to
to
my.
be.
Go back to
There's
my.
always the cover car. That's the
I go
thing.
back.
There's always the cover car. So we don't even know what that is
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
So of
But
course, that'll
to
be.
that point, though, I would go back.
No, go.
I was just saying, I might go back to my showcase articles, and if we spread out the coverage,
Yeah.
there would be more consistent, like generated excitement throughout the year, rather than just burying it in 6 days of absolute carnage where everyone forgets everything that was announced because it was too much. But what do I know?
Well, still.
One thing I was actually shocked was not during the state of play was the Marvel Tokon, the fighting game. I thought that was a lock for Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
Like it's there, it's at Tokyo Game Show, but it's just Spider-Man and Ghost Rider that they've added, who were already announced at launch.
I wonder if they've done too much coverage so soon recently that it probably because you don't want to overkill, do you? As well, because it's quite coverage at the one that happened at Gamescom. It was quite substantial, I think, wasn't it? It was
and at Evo, they had a beta recently as well, and I don't think all of the feedback coming out of that was necessarily like. I think they kind of had to get back to work a little bit on it after it. So I just thought of like a character. Or maybe even linking it with Wolverine, just announce like an X-Men character or something. But I just thought that was so strange. I thought it was like, given fighting game rollouts, like this is probably going to come out in the first half of next year. It's just very weird that
in the process
we didn't get a character.
In referencing my article again, I'm not bigging myself up, but I did chat to a dev about like how does it kind of work in terms of like they just basically put their game, if they're ready to show it, they put it forward to whoever's coordinating it, and if they go we'll put it in, then it happens. But no one is going, oh well, if we're doing, like, there's no talking to each other, they all just go, right, could you show it? Sort of outside collaboration to then say, oh, if you're doing Wolverine, we'll announce our X-Men guy or whatever else. It's like
those are both Sony published, so that's why I bring it up.
I just think there's probably even between there's probably not a conversation going on. We're giving them too much credit, I think, in that regard.
Probably, to be fair. It was crazy having a Microsoft Flight Sim trailer in a PlayStation showcase, but that's where we're at.
And it's been developed for VR too. Actually, I was like, that's like because
that was cool.
The only announcement for PSVR 2 in the whole of State of Play, but it was a fairly substantial title to get Microsoft Flight Sim in VR, because I imagine that'd be pretty fun if you're into that. That'd be quite a good experience, I suspect.
Yeah, definitely. And again, good show calling out Winterboro, because obviously that got a release date, which is nice to see. Coming out.
I love the art style of that. I just love it. I always love hand-drawn stuff.
Had a quick go on it at Gamescom, and really liked it. Again, I played the intro to the game, but it's delightful, really charming, and coming out November 19th, if I remember correctly.
12th.
We'll go through last round of picks. My other one is going to be from the Annapurna showcase. So one of the 3 games that was shown up there. All 3, to be quite frank, are all games I'm excited for. So definitely go and check that out. But the one I'm going to pick from it is a game called People of Note. And I'll just read it quickly here. In this turn-based RPG musical, join Cadence as she recruits an ensemble of musicians on her quest for stardom. Experience turn-based combat like never before, where each battle is a musical performance with evolving combat conditions and genre-bending mashup attacks. And that one is slated for a 2026 release. Looks really, really cool. I really dug the look at the combat. And ever since it sort of got put up, it got dropped, the studio behind it, I don't have their name in front of me right now, but they have been basically going like, hey, did you like Expedition 33? Did you like K-pop Demon Hunters? Then you're going to love People of Note. And it's like, well, I did like both those things this year. So yeah, I probably will like this game. Cool. All right. So People of Note, that's one I'm going to keep on my radar. So one of the first games I'm going to be adding for 2026 to my sort of wish list. Dara, let's hear your final pick.
Let me see.
If you've got
I didn't love the showcases, to be fair, just personally. from what I expect. But I guess I'll go with one that actually we haven't even mentioned yet. Kojima Productions had a show just before TGS as well, where they showed off like a Death Stranding animated movie that looks really cool. But they did also have a new trailer for OD, which is the horror game that Kojima is directing. And I think some interesting pieces of information came out after the trailer. So the trailer was called OD Knock, and this is being published by Xbox. I think it's mainly through their cloud thing. I don't even think it's been confirmed for the consoles at all. But basically, it's been confirmed now that this is going to be an episodic game, and the first episode, which will be Knock, is going to be directed by Kojima himself. And then I believe he kind of implied that like the Jordan Peele collaboration part is actually on another part of it, and that other directors will take other parts of the series. So that first one, Knock, is going to be very much in the style of like PT. They even reference it a bunch in the trailer. And further parts will probably be whatever the directors want them to be. But it seems really interesting. It's still really unique. I'm glad it still exists.
Very cool to see it. The trailer was very cool. I'm considering watching it back very slowly and again, I'm not going to try and come up with theories about it, but more just point out sort of fun details from it, because I did notice one or two things when watching it. Because the trailer, go and watch it. It involves watching somebody in first person lighting candles on a table in front of a window and turning around to look at a door until something happens towards the end of it. But because they keep turning to look back behind them, things are changing when they come back to look at the table in front, and little details here and there. And I think stuff like that is kind of really interesting. It might be, again, Kojima said himself, like there's loads of hints in this trailer to the game and things like that. So it's like, okay, well, if there's lots of hints, it's worth poring over and seeing what sort of stuff we can highlight to be like, okay, we don't know what it means, but we know that this is a thing that's happened in this trailer or whatever. So maybe worth thinking about. But yeah, definitely another cool one to pick up from all these showcases and shows or directs or live streams, whatever they are, whatever form they come in. But yeah, very cool to see more stuff from him. Mark, any other games you want to highlight?
I'm kind of struggling a little bit actually, because a lot of the games at the showcases last week have not really been my kind of jam. One thing that did interest me though, at the Xbox showcase this week, and I've never played the original and likely ever will actually, but the fact that they're rebuilding Good and Grave Gore, which was a game that came out and had like a real lukewarm reception, and I don't think many people were that fussed about it, and they've decided to completely rebuild it. I mean, fair play. If they've got something to build from and remake it into something pretty fantastic, then and to be fair, the trailer looked decent, but just one of those remakes. You're like, okay, yeah, go for it, but where did this come from? And it was really quite surprised by that. And I know the original was a cross-gen game, so it was probably somewhat held back by the last-gen technology. But I've never played the series, but I was actually really quite interested by what I've seen. You guys, I love a shooter, and looks to be a lot of kind of trigger pulling in that. So yeah, looked decent. And I was just kind of really quite surprised, and especially for Xbox to kick off the show today with that. It must be something that is pretty promising, and I was pretty taken back that it was there, and fair play for the devs for giving it a go. I don't think anybody expected that, so yeah, I was quite surprised. Just one slight side note, coming back to what Dara said about OD, and it made me want to have a look at something online. Where on God's name is Project Mara? Because that was the Ninja Theory game.
Oh
It
yes,
looks so like OD. Where I'm just looking now. It's been 5 years since anything, but everything about OD, which I would have mentioned if Dara hadn't, just reminded me of Project Mara, the original trailer for that. So, God, where's that? That looks so bloody cool, and I hope that does actually come to fruition one day. But yeah, that's a long time ago. That's not this week's showcase.
Maybe Game Awards. Maybe we'll see something.
Yeah, I mean, Hellblade is over a year old now. They've moved past it. Although
PlayStation.
that kind of implies that maybe it'll still be a bit until we've seen it. Because Hellblade, I think, got announced a little earlier than I imagine they would have wanted.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think that was kind of brought forward similar to the Elder Scrolls 6 kind of thing. It's sort of, we need to announce something.
Yeah.
A lot of splash screens for those ones back in the day. But yeah, didn't get too much of that here. Obviously, the only one being really Forza, but again, like as we said, like it's a guaranteed kind of people are looking forward to. People are looking forward to it. People are excited for it. It'll be great. Don't have to worry too much about that. Yeah, Adam, why don't you bring us home with your final pick?
It's similar in vein to Mark in that I've never played the original, and I was surprised just because you'd never expect it. Was Deus Ex remastered?
That was cool.
I was like, oh, cool.
That was going to be if I had another pick. Yeah, I'm really excited for this
I was
one.
very happy to see that because it's one of those games that you're like, I know I should play that. But then it's like, but it's also 30 years old or whatever. So it might be quite hard to do. So I was glad to see that. And it's coming out in February. And the other thing that struck me about all the showcases actually so far is that we're getting quite a lot of dates for next year rather than going, it's releasing next year. Like Forza, we don't know, but like Halloween, the game, we've got a release date. It's not till September next year. And I'm like, okay, like they're just actually announcing dates. Like, okay, cool, let's do that.
Also, so why not just put that in October?
Oh, I don't know.
Like the
earlier, the more sales. I think once after October comes, people lose interest.
It just seems so odd. But yeah, I guess you're right. But yeah. Seems like
it kind of has to come out in September though, because it's like you can't release it. If you release it earlier in the year, people won't care as much.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you release it on Halloween, you've got one day and you've missed it.
Yeah.
No, but October's the spooky month. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. But again, but September's the start of autumn. I don't know. Anyway.
But yeah, so I was just could see that because I'm like, I'm going to play that. I'm definitely going to get it. So
yeah. Very cool. Fantastic. Well, yeah. I think we've also kind of given a general gist of how we feel about most of the showcase and stuff. I think none of them, I think, blew us away. Unless anybody has anything else they want to say, I think again, Annapurna Interactive just having a 3-game showcase was quite funny, but also credit to them, it was 10 minutes and it was really good.
Yeah.
But where was mixtape?
That first,
mixtape. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't think that's coming out now this year. I feel like this is the last chance to announce it, right? Unless you're doing your own thing. But
unless it shadow drops at the Game Awards or something, which might not be a good idea.
No.
But
don't get marked up like that.
Sorry. If it's episodic, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that the thing for me is that it was good that it was a good mix of different stuff, updates and DLC and all that sort of stuff, rather than just being here's like that we just talked about, like here's Skyrim, like here's the next version of Elder Scrolls, we'll see you in 6 years or longer. Just to fill the time because you feel like you have to. They've actually had stuff to put in it that's tangible. I think that's good.
A lot of dates. Yeah, it was good.
I think a lot of stuff also went to Nintendo.
Yeah, sorry.
So I think a lot of stuff probably went to Nintendo for the Nintendo Direct as well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Square Enix stuff in that, like the Dragon Quest VII remake and stuff like that. So yeah, they probably just went a few weeks ago because they'll be at Tokyo Game Show now.
Yeah.
Very true.
I think they did well for not kind of over setting expectations as well. I think that's one thing that all of the platform holders have learned over the last few years. I think kind of around the launch of the PS5, kind of Xbox Series X and S consoles, I think they really learned lessons hard for overselling showcases. And I think kind of what they pitched for Tokyo Game Show, both the Microsoft and kind of Sony, I think it was right. And that's really good to hear because I think it has been a solid round of showcases, but nothing that's kind of Summer Games Fest or the Game Awards kind of season. And I'm fine with that. And that's what we're told.
Yeah.
So, it's nice that it had just that kind of like interlude, soft, some nice announcements, like you say, release dates. That's kind of what we need this time of year. But then not overselling themselves is really really nice, actually. I'm really pleased about that.
I'd say overall I was positive across most of these so far. We've still got a few to go, but we'll see what comes out from most of those. But yeah, in general, happy with what we've seen. One or two nice surprises, one or two things you may have expected to see. I would say Ghost of Yotei. I kind of thought maybe we might see a little bit of Keeper for Xbox.
Yeah, it's out next
But-
month.
Yeah,
That's kind of one. If you show too much of it, maybe that could run a risk.
And it had its own little like 30-minute segment over at Gamescom where they talked quite extensively about it. So yeah, to be fair, and Double Fine do not make big games.
But the difference there is that the Gamescom one was 30 minutes, and it was it was an interview.
Yeah.
Whereas so we've had one trailer and an interview. I think it would have been fine to show some more gameplay or a trailer of Keeper because it's out next month. If you're not sitting through the 30 minutes with Tim Schafer, then
you're not going to see anything else of it.
You've seen the one trailer, so I think that would have been fine. We're not talking Deathloop here, where and I love
exactly, yeah.
Fucking everywhere.
No,
Did you wait? Did you guys see? I was shocked on my subscription feed on YouTube. A trailer for a game was announced this week called Depth Loop, and I was like, no, somehow Deathloop returned because in one of these showcases, maybe it was an indie one or something. There was a game called Depth Loop.
Well, I need to look that
announced. And I was like, oh no, this is going to haunt us for the next, it's going to be at the Game Awards. It's going to be everywhere.
They can just find different spellings.
I love that.
Slightly adjust each spelling. Oh dear. Yeah.
I need to look up this game.
Yeah.
Whilst you guys do that, let's finish off the show with what we're looking forward to. I'm going to say real quick that I'm looking forward to Ghost of Yotei. I pre-ordered it today for myself as a birthday present from me to me. So looking forward to that. Hopefully should arrive on October 4th, I think it said. So yeah, very much excited for that. But Adam, what are you looking forward to?
Oh God, I was worried you're going to come to me next. What am I looking forward to? I actually don't know. I've said Battlefield before, and I am looking forward to Battlefield, but I said that before. So
well, you're looking forward to Battlefield, hey, man. That's good. It's coming up. It's so soon. It's been a while as well. It's not as if you've been saying it every week for the last 6 months, being like, oh, I'm looking forward to the Battlefield. No, I mean, be excited for Battlefield.
I just want to have a look at the sheet, so maybe I'll just add one more in a minute, but go around.
Right. Okay, Mark, have you got one? You got something you're looking forward to? It was a Battlefield as well.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And Adam's only now realised I need to wait an extra week.
Again, absolutely. I completely agree. I completely get it. Whoa, hello.
Ball pit. I'm looking for the ball pit.
Ball pit. Yes, the Devolver Digital. Mm-hmm.
Yes. We got a quick dabble at Glasgow Indie Game Fest, and that was super fun. I really liked it. It's very. I mean, I love the 10-minute showcase they did in Summer Game Fest, and it was just mad. And then the game is mad, and it's great. And I'm just like, it just seems like it'll be the sort of thing like Deep Rock Galactic Survivor type. Just have a quick go, have a quick run, just have a play with it, see what it's like, and it's just with the bouncer type game, brick breaker type thing where you're just bouncing balls off everything, and it's just.
Oh, you meant the PS2 game?
Yeah. It's just,
the PS2 game.
I am looking forward to that. To be fair, that is going to be fun. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So we got Battlefield, we got Ball Pit. What about you, Dara?
I'm looking forward to playing. I know I said it last week, but I'm looking forward to playing more Silent. Now that I've started it, and Hades, and another game that I am reviewing, and just the complete amount of things that are out now. I'm going to be playing Peak on the Discord this weekend as well. I haven't had a chance to try it yet, so it's going to be my first time trying it.
So good. So
like
funny.
Bugle Boy. Adam Roberts.
Prepared to fall out with someone.
Yeah, we should try to get some more sessions of that. It's good fun.
Played Pete. All I did was pick up the bugle and just harass him with the bugle. Just the whole time. I didn't know how to play it. I didn't know what was happening. I got higher than he did, and I was just playing the bugle high up above. And he was like, "How do I get up here?" Just lots of fun.
That's all I could hear. All right, cool. They've
Sorry.
updated it, by the way. So now, depending on which, like the height you're holding it at, changes the pitch of it, I believe.
Excellent.
So there you go.
Nice.
They know their audience, Adam. Right. Well, yeah. That I think is going to be the end of the show. Then, thank
Wait,
you.
Gareth, did you say what you were looking forward to?
Yeah, what are you?
Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Yotei. That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it made me think I still haven't played.
Yeah. I
the
snuck
other one,
that
Tsushima.
in.
Yeah.
Just before you guys got yours, I snuck mine in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'll do something else sneaky here as well. I'm going to invoke my birthday once more, everybody, and for all of you listening or watching, I'm going to ask you to please check out for my birthday, as a birthday wish to me, this month's issue of the demo disc. So please do. I really would appreciate it. It's going to be linked down below. So please go and check that out alongside all the other articles that we'll have down there. There are going to be several for the showcases, as well as some of our interviews, including things like Wonder Stars. I did have all our reviews up here. Where is the tab?
I interviewed Gavin Price,
That's right.
the
Yes.
CEO of Playtonic for Yuko Replayly. I wanted to
There you
plug
go.
that.
Oh,
So-
go read mine with Graham Hawkins from the
Zoe Begone.
solo dev of Retchy Games of Zoe Begone. You
Yeah.
need to go play that game. It's super fun. If you like Cuphead, shmups, go play that game. It's amazing.
There you go. If you're looking forward to Yuka Replayly, check out the Gavin Price one. We've also got reviews for Baby Steps, Borderlands 4, Formula Legends, Ethermancer Early Access, and Sonic Racing Crossworlds, The House of Tesla, and I think that takes us up to everything. Platypus Reclayed. I think, I can't remember if we mentioned that last week or I may have been mentioned. No, we'll say it this week. There we go. Platypus Reclayed as well. All of those. And Blippo Plus review as well. We got that as well. That came out today. We've been covering everything. We cover everything here. So yeah.
And by the time this is out, my Hotel Barcelona one and Mark's Letters of War one as well should be out.
There you go. So you got plenty to catch up on and enjoy, and all of those will be linked down below. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining me today. Thank you three. It's been great as always, and yeah, thank you to you listening and watching. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Play some great games, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.